Oh! Hello there! I didn't see you come in. Hello everyone! Welcome to Let's Binge Loren the Amazon Princess with me, Stuart, here to play Loren the Amazon Princess! Last time, we were heading towards the unforgiving swamps to go find Loren's mother. Let's see how we go. Water, mud, slime, fog, the swamp has it all! Draco sloshed around in the swamp with surprising ease. Saren raised an eyebrow. What? I see why you have so many friends. You smell fantastic. But I don't have... Oh. Ha ha. I see what you did there. Yeah, that's funny. Careful. I sense lizard men nearby. Lizard men? They're capable of regenerating lost limbs, so they'll be difficult to kill. Here they are. Get ready to fight. Sorry, Ponytail. Fireballs! Wait, which one costs less? Fireballs!
Slightly uncomfortable.
And that's how you get it done. Should we fall back to camp and get better equipment? Agreed. But we must not delay much longer. I will have a special episode of just going to the camp out eventually, because there's a lot of conversations there. And their journey through the unforgiving swamps had been a perilous one. The monsters that lurked in its outskirts made them fear for what would hold in its depths. Mirth suffered some depression from leaving the forest, but had otherwise been true to her word that she was perfectly capable of travelling with the princess. But whenever she frowned and grasped her head, Saren was next to her, trying to take her mind off her dizziness. She would smile and pretend that she was completely fine, but he knew better and kept a careful eye on her well-being. Ray, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, was having a ball in the heat of battle. He was skillful in taking down enemies with a single shot and revelled in his kills. He'd announced to the party the number of headshots that he'd accumulated to everyone's envy. After wading through the waist-deep swamp water, neck-deep for Dora and Ramus, they spotted what looked like a hut. The wood was rotted, but it was somehow still standing. Is that a house? Who lives in a swamp? Blast! It's about time we saw some dry land. I need to get out of this sludge. They clambered onto the island and recollected themselves. Ramus emptied the swamp water from his boots. A person who lives in a swamp. Mirth, are there swamp druids? No. Unless what? Nothing. It is unlikely. They approached the front door cautiously. Hello? Is anyone there? There was only silence. So Loren opened the door and the party filled in. As if through magic, the deteriorating exterior held a lavish interior. The party was stunned by how they had almost been tricked into passing it by. Though the hut was empty, it was like someone had been there recently. Ah! Out from the shadows sprang a giant scorpion with its tail flailing. Gah! Boss fight! Shoot him! Bop him! Zap him! And still zap him, I guess. Hooray! We won! Ooh, level up. The scorpion screamed and scuttled back into the darkness. Loren held her hand up to warn the party not to pursue it. The creature's whimpering morphed into sounds that a human would make. I cannot believe it! The scorpion was... A woman stepped out from the darkness, glowering at the party. It was clear from her condition that she was the scorpion whom they just fought. Loren brandished a sword to warn her not to try anything. A shapeshifter? And into a scorpion? Those are ugly and mean. They are just misunderstood. Oh no. They are just misunderstood. Then why did you attack us? Because I would rather die than fall into the hands of the elves. They would seek to purify me and strip me of who I am. The purification ritual is done for your own good. Dark magic is vile and dangerous and must be cured. You wish to cure me? I am diseased? You have broken into my home. I'm not hurting anyone out here, darling. Don't make me show you otherwise. Oh, God. This is a weird fusion of Loren and Draco. Calm down. I have no allegiance to anyone who seeks to hurt you. I am Princess Loren of the Amazons, and I'm looking for my mother. I know she was brought into this forest by a man, but I do not know where. And we thought, who better to help than some random crazy lady? The Dark Witch twisted her mouth and she examined the party members one by one. She walked up in front of Loren and stared her in the eyes. Loren felt a deep shiver, but held her ground and did not waver. What are you doing? An aura that had started to appear faded quickly away. You are not lying. Of course I am not. Did you just use magic on me? I had to make sure that you weren't lying filth. Turns out you're not, so no harm done. Don't ever use magic on me again, or you'll find your head separated from your body. The Dark Witch blinked. Don't worry, that's usually how she befriends people. Wait, you can read people's minds? The perks of being using so-called dark magic. I would say it's pretty dark, wouldn't you? Death is just another state of being. So many people flee from it as if it was a bad thing. Being dead can actually be quite fun. She waved her hand and a skeleton of a jackalope on her table started to move. It hopped off the furniture and ran around the floor. Dora and Draco screeched when it hopped around their feet. The dead should rest, not dance a merry jig wherever you want. The skeleton suddenly stopped with a quick hand gesture from the shapeshifter. I have no opinions on your magic. I only need to save my mother. Can you help me find her? I would reward you handsomely. Keep your outside baubles. I don't need anything other than what I already have. I'll help you find your mother, but only because I want my peace and quiet back. Too many people are walking around the swamps like they've renamed the forgiving swamps of roses. You'll help. Oh, you'll help? Really? Yes, really. Unlike filth, I don't lie for recreation. What is your name, Dark Witch? We have not had a proper introduction. My name is Chambara, though I do consider a good fight a standard greeting nowadays. I won't apologize for attacking you, since I'm the only one usually being ambushed. She threw a dirty look at Mirth, who swallowed in fear. Very well, Chambara. You can help us navigate the terrain and look for tracks. I don't need to go anywhere. But you said that you'd help. I can, and I will. Let me complete my thought, if you don't mind. Outsiders. How will you help us, then? I have a potion that can tell me where anyone is in the swamps, very accurately. Like Druid Mirth's divination. No, not like a druid. Frog's guts on divination. I am ominence. I don't just see things, I know things. Much better, I assure you. Mirth blushed but held her tongue. Great. Perform your ritual or make your potion. Whatever you need to do it. Not so fast. I need proper ingredients first. I don't just stock up on useless potions hoping for strangers to stumble through my door looking for their lost mothers. Of course this couldn't be easy. Fine. What do you need? I need the tooth of a lizardman. It's the most potent for what I require. We have plenty of those just lodged in our armor already. Not just any lizardman's tooth. Let me finish. It must be from a large dominant lizard, the cream of the crop. He's fed the most and is the most strongest, and so on and so forth. In short, only a lizardman king will do. And they never leave their tribal gowns at the temple of Chizulu nearby. That will not be a problem. We will return shortly with your tooth. Get out already. They left the decrepit hut and headed towards the ancient temple. Your Grace, the temple road is guarded by many lizardmen patrols. So, what do you suggest? I'd recommend after each attack we retreat to make camp. Making camp will fully restore our health. But we cannot delay anymore. My mother is in danger. I know, and it's up to you. Only remember that if we attack all the enemy patrols in sequence without resting, we might not make it. Okay, we're gonna fight lots of lizardmen. Oh, boom! Boom! 360 headshot, no scope! You know what, I'm gonna take out Mirth, just because I don't actually need to heal anyone ever. He says as he'll most likely die. I have to keep pushing until I die. Ain't that just life, though? The party had cleared the Chizulu temple halls of all lizardmen, but they had yet to find the lizardmen's leader. The more they fought, however, the more vicious the creatures became, telling them that they were close. And then, suspiciously, the attacks stopped. They were guided through the empty halls by lit torches and sounds. They walked down a musty corridor. There were torches lit across the room and large, decorated lizardmen working around the occult symbols on the floor. There! The king must be with them! Loren pulled out her swords and charged the monsters, already impatient to collect the teeth required for the Chambara's potion. Lizardmen screeched as she plunged their weapon into the nearest one. She pulled her sword back out with a grunt and scanned the chamber for her next target. What she saw instead made her lose her mind. Karen, her mother, was tied to a wall, limp and unmoving. Mother? She did not move. Loren screamed in pure bloodlust. Meanwhile, a giant lizardman warrior approached them. He was the Lizard King. Ooh! The story progresses. Lizardman King, more like Lizardman Zed. Hooray! Thank goodness we survived that climactic fight. Oh, we got the cloak of the Lizard King. The last lizardman fell, bloody and broken from how Loren had mauled him. She dropped her swords and rushed to her mother, who was still lifeless, and down to the wall. Hooray! Mother! Please! Mother! She lifted Karen's head and rocked her to make sure she was alive. Her body was warm to her relief. Saren handed her a knife to cut the ropes. Please! Just before she shed a tear, Loren saw her mother's eyes blink open. They struggled to focus, and then finally looked to see who was holding her. Fucking hell, I got another British female voice to do. I'll try to change hers and make it completely nonsensical, but, you know, we'll do. The princesses cried in happiness and hugged her mother close. She managed to free Karen completely from her bonds, revealing dark marks on her wrists from how long she had been held. Why are you here? Fucking hell. I'm coming for you. The Amazons wanted to brand you. I've come for you. The Amazons wanted to brand you as dead, but I knew you'd be alive. Dead. Immediately searched the room, and then her face turned to anguish. She stood up stakily, and fought her body's weakness to scramble over to a corpse nearby. Rizom! No! She turned the person over to reveal an armored man dead. Karen did not mute her horrid cries upon seeing him, pressing her head into his cold body. The entire party stood in silence, witnessing the agony of a woman who just barely escaped with her own life. Loren was perplexed at seeing such a reaction from her mother. Rizom had been her mother's personal servant, and that was all. Loren suddenly made the connection, and the man who had been reported as travelling with her had only been her slave. Her thoughts went wild. No one had captured her. Why had she been travelling with him? He was a man. Mother? Don't look at me! She snapped at her daughters too quickly. Still hunched over Yom's body, Loren took a step back in fear. "Don't judge me." Loren gasped. Karen had loved Rizom. It was so clear to Loren now. From the way her mother was clutching him so dearly. She had been in love with him. All those smiles they had secretly shared back at the Citadel. Every time her mother chastised her for criticizing him and other men. "He didn't abduct you? You were running away with him?" Her mother could never be allowed to love a man, especially not as Queen of the Amazons. She'd be cast out, and so would Loren, simply because she was related to a treacherous weakling. Men were only for procreation, never for love. She had taught this for as long as she could remember. All this time, Loren had believed that her mother had disappeared against her will, and now it was clear that she had wanted to abandon her all along. "I'm dead. I should be dead." Saren could not stand Loren's sudden standoffish behavior towards her mother, especially for something so meaningless as what gender her lover was. So Saren hurried to Queen Karen's side and placed comforting hands on her shoulder. With a gentle pull, he led her away from Rizom's corpse, though it was so clear she wanted to stay with him. The Amazon Queen had always been a strong, stoic leader with a reign and exterior as hard as stone, but now she was just a woman, breaking down in his arms. It was enough for Saren to question reality itself. Okay, on Ray absolutely breaking the mood here. Oh, this place stinks of dark magic. Oh, goodness. Alright, well, after that intense meeting and discovery of another character, Loren's mum, the whole quest was based on, we're going to end it here. So I'll see you all in the next Let's Pinch Loren the Amazon Princess.